All right, we are recording. Okay, I am your host, Shellie Thompson, and I am with Was It a Good Idea? So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about Are you ready to shine? Now, I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about that. So, are you one of those people that spent a lot of time just trying to fit in, trying to, go with what everyone else was doing? You just wanted to feel like you were a part of the group. And I know I've definitely been there. And what ends up happening is you get to a point where you end up becoming comfortable with that, where you no longer want to progress. Even people who can become very successful end up getting to a certain point and then they go, this is good. And then they become comfortable, and it makes it so that they don't get much growing after that. So it's kind of like that way of fitting in, you just kind of like find a good spot and then you stay there. So I wanted to talk to you about what the secret is on being able to make an impact in your own life, of being able to make a change. So you can absolutely change your life today. And but the first thing is you've got to be willing to go in for the long haul. Like, don't think about like a month from now. Don't think about, like even a year from now. Like how, the long haul is however long it takes for you to become successful. And one of the biggest things that's going to be able to kill your success is when you become impatient. If you're one of those people that needs results right away, you're probably not going to be able to see it through until the end when that actually does happen. So patience is key in this case. Being able to take action, and then also being able to learn some self-development type of skills. Both of those things will actually help grow your success. So that is the secret. All right, but there's two keys that you got to remember. So the first key is you got to get to work. Like, be willing to take action, move. That is huge. A lot of times we learn things, which goes into the second key, is, you got to get motivated. Learning, can really, really help motivate you, but you can't have one without the other. You've got to be willing to learn the things and then put them to action, make it work, So biggest thing is how to achieve your goals for success. This is simple. This is how you do it. You got to have a plan. Have a plan. What is your first step that you do? If that's getting out there and making videos, maybe that's how it first starts. And then moving into, okay, well, I'm going to get a coach to help me to learn that next step. Maybe it's creating a Facebook account and learning how to do advertisement that way, or learning how to be able to promote yourself even on YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat. There's so many platforms out there, but you need to have a plan of action. And then next thing is you've got to be able to get clear on what it is that you actually want. Like, take a moment to ask yourself, what is it that I want right now? Where do I want to be in 5 years from now can greatly help you on understanding where it is that you really want to get. And then being able to work on yourself so that you can improve to get better. In another video, I talked about, skills and focusing on what your greatness is. What are you good at? And being able to work on those parts and then improve those skills to get better. If you want to be able to make videos on there, but maybe you're not the best at it right now. So one of those ways to improve yourself to get better is to do more videos so that you can get better at that. Excuse me. So the next thing that I feel like is the most important thing is being willing to receive feedback. You know, a lot of times, for example, if you make this dish, you're proud of it. You know, in the food industry, you give it to someone and then they tell you, well, it's a little too salty. And you go, what? This is perfect. That's not being able to receive feedback. That will cause you to fail. You need to be able to receive that feedback so that next time when you create something, you can be able to add that into there, you know, and then get better and better and better at it, you know, always improving. And also receiving feedback from the right people. You know, you would not go ask a homeless person, hey, how do I become wealthy? It's not going to work. You know, if you want to learn how to become wealthy, you need to ask and be around wealthy people to be able to understand what they did to help them get wealthy so that you can be able to follow that. All right. One of the things that I think is totally underestimated, and I also feel like is one of the biggest things, is gratitude. You know, does so many things for you. And I think it comes down to some questions that you've got to ask yourself, like, what is it that you're grateful for? You know, and when you take a moment, let's say, thinking about even kids, you know, I'm very grateful to have kids, but did it take work to be able to have that? You know, a lot of times we just go, well, yeah, there was, you know, and then I had them and here we are. But you know that there was a longer process of being able to get that. It did take work to get there. It took, you know, having to go through morning sickness or, you know, for your partner, you know, being there while they were going through morning sickness. It didn't take a month. It took 9 months to be able to have there. And then to ask yourself, were there ups and downs? You know, were there, you know, moments that maybe were better than others, you know, and asking yourself, how did you get through those moments? Maybe it was you knew in the end that there was something greater to be received, that ability to say, I'm a parent, this is something I wanted, and I'm willing to go through those ups and downs to be able to get this. So I also want to talk to you about the whole get rich quick. This is definitely, if you're on here thinking, oh yeah, where can I find a good program, something that's going to help me get massive amounts of money overnight, you're in the wrong place. I'm going to tell you that, because anything that's out there, it's going to take work to get it. So if they're saying, yeah, we can offer you to get rich quick, you're going to disappoint yourself, because in any program, it takes time. You know, going back on to being able to have children, you know, I like to call this the birthing process. So if you wanted a child, you know, and you knew that it would be birthed the next day, I mean, you have to ask yourself, like, really, would you be ready for that? You know, a lot of times, I mean, these things are there for a reason, because they help us to get ready for this. You know, having a child, it takes work. You know, I can't even imagine what it would be if it was just the next day and I had a child, you know. So biggest thing that you could ask yourself, like, to being able to get ready for a baby, you know, it's going to take education. These are the things that are helpful to being able to raise a baby successfully, getting educated about what it's going to take to raise a baby, you know. And then also the prep work, making sure, you know, you've got the bedding for it, you know, the food that it's going to require for that, you know, and that might be, you know, for the mom, but it's still going to take that prep work, understanding what you're going to need for that. What if the baby has, you know, a cold, you know, what can I take for this situation, you know? And that goes into the education and then the prepping work to be able to get that, of, getting the bed made and the crib part and being able to, get the room ready. It takes prep work, even the birthing process. If you're going to do a home birth, you're going to need all the supplies that's going to take to be able to birth a baby in the most comfortable way. And then, going into, knowledge, like even asking other people, what things that they learn, that's part of like the whole feedback process of understanding, okay, this worked, maybe you had a little bit of, experience before, but learning more. And I think that goes right into the next thing. The most valuable is having that experience. They had a thing where they would give obviously a robotic baby to kids, but it would help give them an idea of what it's going to take to be able to care for a child. That sometimes it means that you don't get the best rest. Sometimes it means if you've watched other kids, there's moments where you feel, grateful, feel a sense of joy in being able to see how you were able to contribute that way. Some days are really hard. Some days you just don't want to do it, but you do. And being able to have that, if I knew what I knew now before I even had kids, it would have helped prepare me to be able to receive motherhood in a much more easeful way. And there definitely are some amazing programs out there with success that have those experience learning things, the education, help you get what you need to do. Obviously, it's up to you to implement them. But, they have the knowledge, they give you the education, and they've had that experience, and they can help it to make it more easeful and being able to move into that. So biggest things I want you to remember to set a clear goal. Take a piece of paper, write down, my next goal is this. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's setting up an account on Facebook so that you can begin to learn. I mean, like everyone's on Facebook, but being able to set some goals and make it clear on what you really do want. And then the next thing is get to work. I can't stress that enough. Like, to be able to really understand, you need both of these, the being able to get educated and then implementing that, putting that to work, and then just stick with that and you'll get there. All right, well, love you. Thank you guys for joining, and see you in next inspiration.